banks are a business. Everything is a business transaction. If you are going to be looking for money, but your business has never made any money, it doesn't make sense for the bank to be able to give you access to that type of capital if you don't have any way of being able to pay that back. But the goal should be to use your personal credit and leverage that to be able to get access to your first $100,000, $150,000 in business funding, so you can be able to use that for marketing, investing, employees, anything that you really actually going to need in order to be able to get yourself to the next level and be able to make consistent income. In order to really be able to get approved for a solid bag, you're not going to need Home Depot card, you're not going to need Sam's Club card, you're not going to need gas cards when you're trying to hire employees, when you're trying to invest into marketing, when you're trying to do things that cost real money. You're going to need access to real capital. So they're teaching you things that they have learned on the internet that they see other people doing, and they're really just pushing content. They're not giving you actual things that they're using for themselves, actual things that are actually being able to get real results and actually being able to get people $100,000 strictly just from business credit. Most business credit gurus are lying to you and it's keeping you broke, stopping you from getting access to $100,000 in capital to be able to, get your business to the next level, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're on a road to 10K right now. Hopefully by the time you guys seeing this, we're already at 10K, man. The number one thing that I see on Instagram and on social media that is keeping people from getting access to, their first $100,000 in funding is thinking that they can get access to this money from the banks without using their personal credit score. I'm here to inform you that in order to really get approved for solid business funding, a big bag, and being able to use that to get your business to the next level, you need a solid personal credit score, right? You guys are trying to get EIN funded only using an LLC, and your business has never made any money. You've never filed any taxes. You don't have any stated revenue on paper, and you're thinking that the banks are just going to say, here goes 50, here go $100,000 to be able to get your business to the next level. I'm here to let you know that that is false. You need to have a solid personal credit score. When we talk about a solid personal credit score, we're talking about 680 or above, 700 plus, with solid primaries, a decent amount of accounts on there to be able to actually get you approved for real actual capital. They push net 30 accounts. They promote, these different tier 1, tier 2, different banking systems in order to be able to build your business, right? But they never actually show you how to be able to take it from tier 1s to actually being able to get approved for actual business funding that you can actually use as it's like cash, right? So in order to really be able to get approved for a solid bag, you're not going to need Home Depot card, you're not going to need Sam's Club card, you're not going to need gas cards when you're trying to hire employees, when you're trying to invest into marketing, when you're trying to do things that cost real money. You're going to need access to real capital. You're not going to want your capital to be limited, by these different business credit regulations. Another thing, they teach you a lot of times from theory, not from actual results, right? They've never actually gotten approved for, business funding without using their LLC, especially high limit. So they're teaching you things that they have learned on the internet that they see other people doing, and they're really just pushing content. They're not giving you actual things that they're using for themselves, actual things that are actually being able to get real results and actually being able to get people $100,000 strictly just from business credit. So like I said, I'm here to let you guys know the real way to really be able to get business credit on this channel, how to really be able to get access to capital that is going to put you in a position to be approved for $100,000, $150,000 and 0% business funding that you can use for whatever you need in order to get your business to the next level, whether it be marketing, employees, whatever you guys need in order to be able to get your business to the next level. That's what we're going to be on this channel helping you guys be able to achieve. In real relationships, they don't stress the importance on building real relationships with relationship managers, with underwriters, with lenders, to be able to get you the access to the capital, $50,000 to $100,000 by leveraging your personal credit score, and then being able to use that to get you to the next level. A lot of time, they push in like a dream, because they hear so many people say, hey, I have an LLC and I'm looking to get some funding. I don't want to use my personal credit score, but you don't have the financials. If you don't have the financial documents, you don't have the taxes, you don't have anything to be able to prove, why would the banks give you access to this type of money or this type of funding without actually being able to have any way to guarantee that they're going to be able to get their money back? You got to think of it, the banks are a business. Everything is a business transaction. So if you are going to be looking for money, but your business has never made any money, it doesn't make sense for the banks to be able to give you access to that type of capital if you don't have any way of being able to pay that back. By being able to leverage it off your personal credit score, it gives the banks a certain assurance to saying, hey, we're going to give you this funding, we're going to give you access to this capital, it's going to be for your business, but if the business doesn't work out, you are going to be, personally liable, because they know that that is going to give them a better chance at being able to recover their funds and make sure that you pay them back when you're trying to get access to this capital. Another thing is they don't really show you how to be able to monetize off your credit, right? So if you're getting these gas cards, if you're getting these Sam's Clubs, if you're getting these, these store cards, these net 1, net 30s, tier 1, tier 2, different things, they're not actually being able to show you how to be able to take that money and turn that into, capital over time, right? So the goal is to be able to take this capital and leverage that, to be able to take that and then be able to invest that into things that are being able to create you income, right? So that's the whole goal of anything dealing with business funding, business credit, being able to invest that to be able to get you to the next level. I'm just here to let y'all know, man, not only focus on net 30s, and these different tier vendor accounts. I do have the full build out inside of my community, Virtual Life University, as a full breakdown on how to be able to build your business credit by leveraging your LLC, your EIN, and not having to use your personal credit score. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but the goal should be to use your personal credit and leverage that to be able to get access to your first $150,000 in business funding, so you can be able to use that for marketing, investing, employees, anything that you really actually going to need in order to be able to get yourself to the next level and be able to make consistent income. Once you're doing that, I feel like then it's a good idea to go build out your business credit, and try to get access to some business credit without having to use your, social security number. But, I would not prioritize that, because if you don't have any way to be able to provide the financial documents and provide, the income necessary, then the banks are going to deny you, and you're not going to be able to get access to capital that is going to really be able to make a difference in your business. For the most part, man, y'all just gotta really just wake up. You gotta realize that everything that's on the internet, a lot of people are selling the same washed down, watered down information, but they don't have the results. They're not able to show you that they are executing off of these same strategies. So if you guys are looking for real capital, real funding that is going to really be able to help you invest into your business however you see fit, however you see necessary, then you're going to need to have a solid personal credit score. Make sure that there's no negative items on your report. Make sure it's built out the right way. God damn, this is a noisy ass video. If you guys are looking for the step-by-step blueprint on how to build your business credit without using your social security number, I do have the blueprint inside of my community. All of the different tier accounts, the different vendors, how to sign up and how to be able to leverage that and work your way up the ladder each step of the way, then I do have that, and the link is going to be inside of my description. Use that, but also make sure you guys are maximizing your chances of being able to get funded by making sure you're doing everything, all of the above, right? Being able to take your personal credit score, leverage that to get your funding, then using that money to be able to build out your business credit, so now you can be able to get access to some funding with just your EIN, and and also be able to get some, from leveraging your social security number to be able to get you the funding that you need in order to be able to grow your business. That's all that I got for y'all, man, for this video. Make sure you guys subscribe for this video. If you like this video, if you got some information, if you thought that business credit and using your EIN was going to be the way for you to be able to get access to your first 100,000, I'm glad that I could tell you guys that that's not the way that it works. Be mindful of people that's on the internet, pushing a narrative and they don't have the results to back it up, man. That's all I got for y'all.
Lost it all, got found with more. I've been up and down before. Focus like a motherfucker. Going at it, stand the course. Forever keeping my cool, ain't got nothing to prove. I really fuck up some money if ain't nothing to do. Yeah, who ain't focused? There's too much more.